As you can see, I am picking up rocks today. This is a piece of rocky ground. This is a little small, about 5 acres that I didn't get planted last year. I got in here and started tilling and it just got wet and never could finish it. I got this field done. That's all sand. It's amazing. It's all sand and not even hardly a stone. You get right here, it's different soil and it's stone. But that field way over there, about 30 acres over there, was just stones everywhere. But what I did, I found with my field cultivator here, here's my old Ford field cultivator. I used a different strategy here on this field. I came in here with my disked it up. I ran the cultivator very, very shallow to get everything firmed up. However, I did several very light passes with the cultivator. It firmed it up good. And now if you see the soil here, I think I've got it too firm where my cultipacker, which is right there, is not going to push the rocks in the ground. In this other field, Narcissus Swamp, tons of rocks, but what I did last year, I had the cultivator set just at the right depth. If I set it too deep, it actually pulled rocks up. If I set it at the correct depth, it kind of buried them. And then I hit it with the cultipacker, and stuff like this would go in the ground. You see now, I don't think my cultipacker, so I may, and there's a lot of rocks out here. It's not a big piece. We're not talking much acreage right now. So I'm gonna probably set the cultivator down a little deeper, fluff the soil back up after I get done driving around here doing an initial rock picking deal. And maybe then hook up the cultipacker and see if it pushes the rocks down, because there's just so many here to pick up. And that was basically a rock quarry, that other field, and I almost picked up like no rocks. I mean, I just discovered that strategy last year. You know, in the old days, I might have been getting a hay wagon out here with like 10 kids, which non-existent. You're not gonna do that nowadays. But see this rock? So they're all over the place. I firmed this up too much, and no way. I don't care how big a cultipacker you have, it's not going to push that in. So I am going to end up unfirming my soil, which, you know, the strategy in getting a good seed bed for hay is, for alfalfa here, is get it firm. So we'll have to see how that goes. The deep tillage loosened things up a bit. Like some of them rocks might be stuck up a little bit, but let's see here, the difference you have, get right down here at ground level, between the cultipacked and the non-cultipacked surface. So this looks like a disaster. Over here, look at how many rocks that push down. There's a lot of rocks there. And there are some rocks I'm going to have to come out and pick up. When I see a big enough rock, I do slow that cultipacker down. So I'm going to be driving back over this to plant. If you see this, okay? So that's got to go. One thing I do, however, and the reason why I'm not driving out here first with the loader tractor is the loader tractor is going to rut it up too much. When you have a real rocky field, you're not probably going to get it as smooth as you'd like, because I had to dig up the seed bed to push these rocks down. If I left it how I showed you in the beginning of the video, I would never get all these rocks picked up. No way. So like here's another rock. Okay, so we got rain coming, so I'm gonna get this field planted. When I see a big rock, I'm gonna be broadcasting seed with the loader tractor. I'll stop and put a big rock like this in the loader. And then I could come out here for the next few days with the loader tractor picking up rocks. So you can see, I get down ground level, there's some minor ruts. I'll go over this a couple times though with that cultipacker before I plant, and it will level out even a little bit of the tire tracks. I use the bigger tractor to cultipack versus with the duals. It leaves less of a footprint and does pack down better. If I came out with the loader tractor, picked up rocks as I packed, I would find bigger ruts from the front tires mainly because of the loader on it, the narrower tires and the loader. So yeah, I'll be picking up a few rocks, but the last field I planted in some of my earlier videos this spring, there wasn't a rock in the whole field. So I mean, I had that seed bed perfect. We can see here, I'm leaving this is loose. I'm leaving a pretty good footprint. So I will go over this a couple times, broadcast it, then pack it in. But generally, you really want to leave your heel shouldn't even really go in more than 1/4 of an inch. So this section, you will mow it the way that I cultivated it, the direction I ran the tillage equipment, because I'm just never going to get this really disastrous rocky field as smooth as I would like. All right, well, I'm gonna get to work, and thanks for watching. Again, anybody's got any better ideas, I'd love to hear. I mean, somebody's gonna say buy a rock picker. Well, I'm not gonna buy a rock picker. Not in the budget, but I've never used one. Some areas got rock pickers you could rent. If this whole 60 acres was like that, I'd probably look long and hard about getting somebody local who has a rock picker and come through, or I'm not in an area I don't think where I can rent one. But all right, talk to you later. So for some of you, this is still too rocky. I mow with my cutter bar up. I've adjusted the spring suspension on my 1409 disc mine New Holland mower, so the cutter bar is angled up. I notice it cuts just as good with sharp knives as if I had the cutter bar angled down. So my rock guards, my shoes, the head of the disc on my disc mine, if they do hit something, they're gonna ride up over it. And I'm still mowing. I bought that mower brand new in 2008, so it's a 12-year-old mower, and I haven't even done anything on the cutter bar yet. So like replacing modules. So not having that thing tilted down, digging in the dirt, messing things up. So these rocks here, yeah, they'll be fine. I'm gonna mow right up over that. I still mow 4 inches high, even when I'm on alfalfa. I found no advantage having that mower tilted down. I do notice though, and the blades are sharp. It's just like I had it tilted down, and it'll be cutting like sometimes pulls and vacuums that grass up like a 2-inch cut. And you can see now with each successive pass, there's a rock there I'm going to slow down on, but you can see each successive pass in the cultipacker, the field's getting more level, and actually these rocks are sticking up. The ones that I'm going to have to pick up by hand are getting a lot easier to identify. And I'm going over this 3 or 4 times just with the packer, crisscrossing in different directions. And it will really act to smooth this field out a lot. So, you spend the money on the cultipacker, use it more than one pass if you got time, especially on a hay field. got out of the tractor and also did a couple shots. It's a pretty rocky spot. And you can see, pretty good shape. There's a couple deadheads there I'll pick out, but and the rain is on the way. It's taken me 2 years to plant this. I'm gonna keep going. So I've got a broadcast on it that'll only take an hour. Then I gotta pack it again. And if I got time, I'll pick rocks up. Okay, this is that same area that I showed a couple. I had the tripod set up where I drove the tractor by. Get right down here to the ground. Let's see. So I got it firmed up, and I took about half a dozen rocks I just picked up. You know, big rocks like this, threw them over to the edge of the field. So yeah, so you can see I managed the rocks. I beat it. I didn't know if I was going to. I set that cultivator down. It necessarily didn't bury any rocks, but it loosened it up enough so that this cultipacker could pack them down. And then now I'm going along and I can see where rocks are just, there's some big ones sticking up 1 or 2 inches, and you could hear it when this thing hits it, which I'm not trying to beat the hell out of my cultipacker. But those rocks stick out now, so you can easily pick them up. Like, I'm not even having to bring the loader tractor out here. I'm just jumping out of the tractor because I'm all done planting it. It looks like rain's a little ways away yet. It's about 7:30 at night. And then I'm just jumping out of the tractor. I pick up 2 or 3 rocks, throw them off. So I took something that looked like a rock quarry and made it look like this. So I am pretty happy. So I will celebrate tonight.